In the vast landscape of American coinage, the 1984 Lincoln 1-cent penny may appear at first glance to be just another common copper-plated coin from the 1980s. After all, billions of pennies were struck during this decade, and most people would have never thought twice about the year 1984 or the tiny 1-cent piece that slipped in and out of their pockets in change jars. Yet for numismatists and collectors with a sharp eye, this coin holds one of the most fascinating stories in modern U.S. mint history. It is not simply about mass production, but about the remarkable rarity of an error that transformed an ordinary cent into a true treasure worth a staggering $210,000 at auctions. The 1984 rare error Lincoln penny has become legendary in collector circles, not because of how many exist, but because of how few were made and how fiercely collectors pursue them. To appreciate why this coin is so valuable, we need to understand the history of the Lincoln cent itself. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the design replaced the Indian head cent and was an instant success. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln on the obverse made it the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of an allegorical symbol. Over the decades, the design saw small changes, but Lincoln's profile remained at the heart of America's smallest denomination. By 1959, the reverse changed from wheat stalks to the Lincoln Memorial, giving us the classic design that lasted until 2008. By the time the 1984 cent rolled off the presses, Americans had been living with this design for 25 years, and the coin had become one of the most recognized in circulation. But 1984 brought something unusual. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies that year, but in the rush of high-speed minting, a rare variety emerged. This error involved the doubling of Lincoln's earlobe, a striking anomaly now famously known as the 1984 double-die obverse Lincoln cent. At first glance, most people didn't notice it, but those with magnifying glasses and trained eyes quickly realized the unusual extra outline of the earlobe made this penny unlike any other. The double-die error meant that during the hubbing process, the design transferred incorrectly to the die, leaving behind a second, slightly shifted impression. When coins were struck with this faulty die, the doubled feature was forever embedded into the coin's design. Collectors quickly recognized the rarity, and the 1984 doubled die penny became a hot topic in numismatic communities. Unlike the more famous 1955 double die cent, which had obvious doubling on the date and inscriptions, the 1984 error was more subtle, yet just as intriguing. It required closer inspection, and that element of discovery only added to its appeal. Owning such a coin became not only about rarity, but also about being part of an exclusive club of collectors who could recognize hidden treasure in plain sight. The design itself deserves attention. On the obverse, Lincoln's familiar bust gazes to the right, surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." The date, 1984, anchors the coin. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial sits in meticulous detail, flanked by United States of America and E pluribus unum, with the denomination 1 cent at the bottom. In higher grades, the doubling on the obverse ear is sharp, clear, and striking, a feature that separates it from the ordinary. For collectors, that small anomaly is the key to unlocking incredible value. But how did this simple error become worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? The answer lies in condition, scarcity, and auction history. Most of the 1984 double die pennies were circulated and quickly worn down, making them worth only a modest premium. However, in mint state, especially those graded at MS 66 or higher, the rarity skyrockets. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have authenticated only a limited number of high-grade examples. Each time one of these coins enters an auction, bidding wars break out, as seasoned collectors know how few flawless examples exist. Repeatedly in auctions, we see the 1984 double die penny make headlines. Collectors, both seasoned and new, cannot resist the allure of bidding on a coin that combines history, error rarity, and condition. The hammer prices have risen over the years, fueled by demand and the growing recognition of the coin's importance. Stories circulate of auctions where the bidding began in the thousands and quickly escalated into six figures as determined buyers refused to back down. The spectacle of those auction rooms echoes the passion and thrill of collecting itself. The 1984 error penny also embodies the unpredictability of coin collecting. Who would think that a coin so small, so common in circulation, could hold such immense value. This is the magic of numismatics. Errors, anomalies, and quirks in minting can turn a pocket change coin into a museum-worthy artifact. The 1984 double die penny is one of those rare treasures that prove you do not need a centuries-old coin to uncover incredible worth. Sometimes, modern coins tell the most surprising stories, beyond its monetary value. This penny is a symbol of discovery. Collectors often talk about the thrill of the hunt, the joy of searching through rolls of coins or jars of change, hoping to find that one rare piece. The 1984 double die cent keeps that hope alive. Its fame has inspired countless hobbyists to start searching and inspecting coins more closely, expanding the world of numismatics far beyond elite circles. As the years go by, the supply of high-grade 1984 double die cents only becomes more limited. Coins are lost, damaged, or remain hidden in private collections. Each time one appears at auction, it becomes a major event in the coin world, drawing attention, headlines, and fierce competition. Collectors know that opportunities to own such a piece are rare and fleeting, and that urgency fuels ever higher bidding. This coin story also reinforces the importance of grading and authentication. Without professional services, many ordinary 1984 pennies could be mistaken for the rare variety. It is the sharpness of the doubled ear and the preservation of the coin that truly determine value. Those who hold one of these pennies and recognize its uniqueness often send it in for certification. And once authenticated, the coin enters the history books of auctions, fueling more excitement. What is this coin really worth today? The answer lies in the repeated auctions and the prices collectors are willing to pay. In circulated condition, it may fetch a modest premium. But in pristine, top-graded mint state, the value is staggering. Time and again, the coin has stunned the numismatic community, with top examples reaching a jaw-dropping $210,000 at auction. That extraordinary figure makes it not only one of the most valuable Lincoln cents of the modern era, but also a shining example of how even the smallest coin can carry a massive legacy. The 1984 rare Era Lincoln penny reminds us that history is hidden in plain sight. It is about more than copper plating and mint marks. It is about the quirks of minting, the passion of collectors, and the thrill of auctions that turn ordinary change into national treasures. So next time you spot a 1984 Lincoln cent, take a closer look. Examine Lincoln's ear carefully, because what might appear to be just another penny could, under the right circumstances, be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you're lucky enough to hold such a coin, you hold not only a piece of numismatic history, but also a ticket to an unforgettable story of discovery, passion, and auction room drama that has cemented the 1984 double die cent as one of the greatest treasures of modern American coinage. In the world of American coins, there are stories that take us by surprise. Stories where the smallest and most overlooked pieces of change rise to levels of extraordinary fame and value. The 1993 rare Era Lincoln 1-cent penny coin is one such story, one that combines history, design, minting quirks, and the thrill of auctions into a narrative that collectors continue to chase passionately. On the surface, the 1993 penny looks like any other, a copper-plated zinc coin that millions of Americans handled every day in the early 1990s. Yet hidden among these common cents is a rare error that has transformed a handful of these coins into remarkable treasures, capable of commanding as much as $174,000 under the spotlight of auctions. To appreciate why the 1993 Era penny became legendary, we must begin with the foundation of its design. The Lincoln cent has a rich history dating back to 1909, when the United States Mint introduced it to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first American coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure, and the decision to put Lincoln's face on the smallest denomination struck a deep chord with the American people. Over time, the coin's reverse shifted from wheat stalks to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, but the obverse portrait remained familiar and iconic. By 1993, this design had already lived in American pockets for decades, symbolizing continuity and national pride. But history alone does not make a coin rare. What makes the 1993 penny so extraordinary is the error that occurred during minting. In that year, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies. Most of them were perfectly ordinary, but in the rush of mass production, errors crept in. These errors could be off-center strikes, double dies or die cracks, but one particular type in 1993 caught the attention of collectors. The most notable involved a double die obverse, where elements of Lincoln's profile, inscriptions, or date appeared doubled due to a flaw in the die-making process. For those who discovered this subtle doubling, the coin transformed instantly from a piece of pocket change into a prized rarity. Imagine the excitement of collectors in the 1990s as the news spread. People who had dismissed the Lincoln cent as too common to matter suddenly began pulling out magnifying glasses and coin rolls to hunt for the elusive double die. The 1993 era became part of coin collecting folklore, inspiring countless stories of ordinary people finding extraordinary value in the most unassuming of places. Unlike coins minted in the 1800s or early 1900s, these era pennies carried with them a sense of modern mystery. A reminder that even in the late 20th century, mistakes could slip past the mint and into circulation. The design of the 1993 cent itself only adds to the coin's appeal. The obverse bears Brenner's time-honored bust of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, his features carefully engraved to reflect dignity and strength. Above his head is the motto, "In God We Trust," while to the left sits the word liberty. To the right is the date, 1993, crisp and bold, sometimes showing the doubling error that has made certain coins so valuable. The reverse depicts the Lincoln Memorial, a structure synonymous with American unity and history, its columns and steps detailed so finely that with close inspection, one can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside. This combination of tradition and subtle error makes the coin both visually compelling and numismatically fascinating. Auction houses have played a central role in lifting the 1993 era penny into legend. Repeatedly, examples of this coin in pristine condition have appeared on auction blocks, where collectors engage in fierce bidding wars. The atmosphere in these rooms is electric. What starts as a modest bid quickly escalates into tens of thousands of dollars, and sometimes beyond six figures, as determined collectors recognize the chance to acquire a piece that rarely resurfaces. Each auction is a story in itself, with the drama of competitive bidding and the final hammer price drawing attention from across the numismatic world. These repeated appearances at auctions only fuel the mystique of the 1993 penny, reminding the community that even modern coins can achieve iconic status. Condition plays an enormous role in determining value. Most pennies from 1993 circulated heavily, enduring scratches, nicks, and wear that diminish their appeal. But those rare few that survived in near-perfect condition, sometimes preserved in coin rolls or discovered before entering circulation, are the ones that make headlines. When graded by professional services like PeaceGS or NGC, high-mint state examples of the era penny reveal sharp detail and bold doubling, capturing the imagination of serious collectors. These top-grade examples are the ones that cross the $100,000 threshold and achieve prices like the astonishing $174,000. What is remarkable about the 1993 era penny is how it symbolizes the thrill of the hunt in coin collecting. For many, it represents the possibility that great value may be hidden in the most common of places, waiting to be discovered by a sharp eye. This idea has kept collectors searching through jars, rolls, and pocket change for decades. Even today, numismatists and hobbyists alike share stories of finding rare varieties, always hoping their discovery could be the next one to light up an auction. The 1993 penny embodies that hope perfectly. Its repeated auction appearances also serve as milestones in the larger narrative of American coin collecting. Every time one of these coins resurfaces, it reignites interest not only in the coin itself, but in modern era coins as a whole. Collectors discuss minting processes, study hubbing errors, and share discoveries, expanding the hobby's appeal to new generations. The legacy of the 1993 era penny is not only about value, but also about education and inspiration. When we step back and look at the broader picture, the 1993 rare era Lincoln penny is more than copper-plated zinc. It is a story of history, chance, and human passion. It is about how a tiny mistake at the mint can ripple through decades, creating a coin that inspires collectors and makes auction houses buzz with excitement. It is about how the smallest denomination can sometimes hold the largest prize. And most importantly, it is about how determination and attention to detail can turn something ordinary into something priceless that, yes, oh, what does this coin represent today? It represents the height of rarity in modern U.S. coinage, the kind of error that comes along once in a generation. It represents the thrill of auctions, where collectors battle for ownership of a piece of history. It represents discovery, where anyone, even someone casually checking pocket change, might stumble upon treasure. And at its core, it represents value, both sentimental and financial, with top specimens commanding an incredible $174,000 in repeated auction results. The 1993 rare Air Lincoln 1-cent penny coin is a reminder that sometimes the greatest treasures are not buried deep in the ground or hidden away in dusty museums. Sometimes they are right in front of us, disguised as everyday change, waiting to be recognized. For those who know its story, the 1993 penny is not just a coin. It is a symbol of possibility, of hidden value, and of the extraordinary power that even the tiniest piece of history can hold when placed in the spotlight of the auction world.